Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a while, and I always say that every time I try to upload a new video, but this time for real, it's been a while, and I have been very busy in my personal life. You'll probably see this. It's up at like the midnight of 1st January or somewhere in like near 31st December or something. But yeah, this video is going to be unedited, mostly. I hope no one barges into my room. My roommate is hanging out with my other friend and like next door, and so right now I'm staying in this hotel because I'm going on a study tour trip made by my school, so it's pretty exciting. And we are almost finished. It's the 6th day out of 8 days of being here in this country, and I gotta say it's been a wonderful experience. And I'm not gonna tell you what country it is, but if you're in my personal life you probably know. But it's been a wild ride, and I wish I can come here next time so that I can go shop and actually like explore everything, because when you're in a group you're in a really tight schedule and you keep on like, oh, we have to go here with the bus with the group and to go visit the museum and then visit the souvenir shop and then this shop, and then it's just a lot. But I managed to like save all the location in Google Maps, so thank you Google for tracking my data and all of my identity. But that's fine because my data is my identity. So yeah. This video isn't edited. I think I've said that. I've been wanting to make this for a while actually, a themed video of everything I've learned in 2022, because to be fair to you, 2022, and I have written this in my traveling notebook, is the most vivid year of my life so far. I've turned 16 this year in like June, because my birthday is in June, so like in the mid year. And the transition has been really real. Like the shift from the first half of the year to the second half of the year was insane to me, because it feels like I have so many lows today in the second half of the year. It's like there's so many trials and tribulations and everything that I have to overcome, and my mental is like being pushed down a lot, and I have to kind of get back up after like being pushed down a staircase and like hit myself, and like it feels like that, like I've injured myself and I have to like actually heal myself on my own. And luckily I have friends who support me on my in my own struggle, so that I'm really grateful for that. So let's see what notes I have written here. So in the first half, actually so many things has happened, because things have started opening up here. If you don't know, January is actually, I've moved to another country at like last year at like October, November we arrived, and it feels like my life only started at January. December it's like pretty busy, but that's like 2021, right? But 2022 is like, oh, we're actually really starting now. And I'm gonna tell you some of my highlights of what I've learned from what happened in all of my personal life, as much as I can share it to you guys, but because I still value my privacy. So yeah, from January until April I joined like a course. It's an Arabic course. It's from a local group, and there's a bunch of expatriates, foreigners there who is looking to learn Arabic, and I'm part of them, and I'm really glad that I get to enjoy the experience. I passed level 1. I got a certificate for it, and it's so weird because I'm like one of the youngest there. All of the others were like diplomats that have been in the country for 5 years or more, like been there for a long time, but they are not good at Arabic, so that's why they wanted to start learning it. But me, I only got to this country like 3 months ago, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do this, because I like to be busy. I'm a pretty busy person. But yeah, so January until April, that's like my highlight. There isn't a lot much happening here. But on May until June, I had my very first science Olympiad, and it's like everyone in the whole country. It's like province, right? Because I'm Indonesian, so all all of the provinces are like competing, including the ones that are from abroad. And luckily, I'm one of them. I competed in math. I didn't get past it though, but I'm pretty glad for the experience. It was super tough, the preparation, because I didn't have any mentors or whatever, and I have to actually like self-taught myself and push myself. But overall, it's a really nice experience, and it was very competitive. And because of the time zone differences, I have to get up very early in the morning, but it's worth it. Let's see. So April 2022 until July the 30th is, you could say, my most happiest and my most naive. And I'm saying this because this is April until July is actually the period where I started a band, and like this local this like friends from like the neighborhoods, we're all Indonesians in like this foreign country, and we somehow connect, the four of us. And then we also have the same taste of music, and we also like actually one of my friends, he like asked me like, can you play the guitar? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then he also has a friend who can play the drums, and my buddy there, my best friend, is also like good at keyboard, so we kind of like go together. I play the vocal and the guitar, and we kind of just have fun and jam in like the office from like 12 until 6 p.m. It's like for 6 hours, like every weekend. While on school holiday, it was such a fun and tender moment. And even when I was experiencing that, I felt really sad, because I knew it wasn't going to last forever, because our drummer is going to go back to Indonesia to pursue further education. And so the climax of this band arc that only lasted 4 months, only 4 months, I really wish it lasted longer, is at the 30th of July, where we had so much fun, because this is the last day. It's actually the last day. Like, this guy legit, we hang out at like 8 p.m. until midnight, and then he took a plane back to Indonesia. Like, this guy is insane. Like, he's willing to spend time for us. But anyways, we got on the go-kart. We hang out. We have a really cute go-kart racing, and then after that, we eat at a very fancy dinner at like a really fancy restaurant. And we realized we ordered too much food, and we realized, oh yeah, I mean, the price is pretty big, so it's probably gonna be big. And also, it's like the portions is just American portions. Like, what the fuck, right? But it was so fun. I really value friendships that don't come by very often, and it's by coincidental or by luck. First of all, I never expected that I can ever like move outside of Indonesia, and the second of all, I never would have thought that I would make friends that I connected so much here, and they are Indonesian. So that was really special to me, and I'm hoping that we could like maybe hang out like in the future too, when we were together again, but I don't know, it's pretty unlikely. Okay, what else? June, I have my first ever birthday party ever since the pandemic, and it's really cool because I only invited my close friends into my house, and we had this little party, and just like a little hangout group. It's like a bunch of my circles from different environments kind of like assembled together, and now it's kind of awkward, but I'm glad like a lot of them enjoy it. Like, I never thought like they would like actually vibe, but like they did. So yeah. Yeah, I ended up coughing. I ended up cutting this video because I wasn't feeling very well my voice. I have a little cough, and actually this is the most I've spent talking so far, because the whole day I was either sleeping because we were on a long trip in the bus, we only get like rest area breaks, lunch, dinner, visited small museums and places, and we only got very limited time. I wish I could spend more time in the museum, but fortunately not. So yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. I'm gonna have very little cuts here, but okay. So without further ado, what's next? The 22nd June is my very first ever YouTube video that I was legit going to make this YouTube channel thing, right? Like I was determined, and it was so weird because it's very spontaneous. My first ever video, if you didn't know, is I quit Genshin Impact, and why I think, and it immediately blew up and got thousands of views. I mean, as someone who just started out, that's like that's the definition of blowing up, right? But right, yeah, I'm still very fond of that video, although I think the editing really sucks, and I think my speaking skills and my editing skills have gotten a lot much better after that. If you didn't know, and if you're really new to the channel, I've actually uploaded a lot of videos where I try to do random stuff, and most of them is like me procrastinating on my assignments, and I want to do this, but like, oh my god, I really want to record this Roblox gameplay video, and I ended up doing that, and I ended up editing that, and it ended up being horrible, so most of them are probably just unlisted or private. I also have like a lot of covers in this channel, but like I didn't want people to know that, because I'm actually making a legit another YouTube channel for that, so stick around. I don't know when I'm going to be doing that, but yeah, just so you know. And you know, I think making this YouTube channel is probably like the best decision I've ever made. I know I've only gotten a small following at this time. Sorry, there's someone knocks, you know. I've only gotten a small following at this time, but like I feel like I've grown so much in the name of like content creating, and I trust me when I say I have a lot of video ideas, and a lot of them I've executed. It's just I haven't uploaded it yet because I want it to be like polished. I want you guys to enjoy it. I don't want you guys to feel like you guys waste your time like watching my videos. I think the biggest project that I've done this year is I've read 20 books, 20 of my friends' books, and it's about 30 minutes, and although it's really low views, it's one of my goals in this year, and I managed to achieve that, so I feel very accomplished nonetheless if the view sucks. And also a lot of like my real life friends watched the whole 30 minutes of it, so I guess it's pretty worth it. It's kind of insane when you don't think about those numbers like individually by person. Like 21 people actually watched this from start to end. Like what? That's pretty insane. You guys can check it out, although I think that video kind of sucked with everything. But I was going through a lot too, so yeah. And also June is I think a lot happened in June. June is the part where a friendship of mine ended, and it really sucked. It was like a week after my birthday, and it's like such a classic breakup moment. It's just a friendship, but it feels like a breakup. I was at my friend's birthday party, and then I was feeling very sad. I wasn't feeling it at all because this person was on my mind the whole time, and I was thinking about like, what should I do? Should I just end it or whatever? And I just blocked. This is an online relationship, by the way. That's why it's easy for me to just like ghost people and kick people out of my life. Most of my actual real friends are online, but because they're from Indonesia, then I moved here, and then yeah. And so I did block them, and then on the way home, me and my best friend, I cried like sobbing, like just like whimpering, sobbing loudly in the car while playing Before by Nicki on loop, and her driver was just like really confused. Why am I crying so loudly? What's happening? I'm just like, I told him like my boyfriend broke up with me or something. It's a simple explanation, so no further elaboration. Like, you know, your boyfriend broke up with you. Oh, that's it. That's really much more complex than that. But yeah. Now we really start to the second half of the year, and I think this is my most creative like 6 months yet, because so many shit just got thrown into me. You know how I'm a planner, okay? You know how life want to throw plans at you, and then you know how you want to make plans about a lot of stuff in like life, and then your universe was just kind of like, fuck you, we're gonna do this inside, and you're just gonna have to roll with it. And that's just what happened to me. So first of all, we start off with a bang, all right? July until August, early July until mid-August. Mid-August is like the end, the climax. I was a flag raiser for in my Indonesia's independence, and more importantly, I was the one that's carrying the flag. So I have to have really strong arms, and I have to practice a lot. So it was a month, actually 3 weeks of intense physical training, but a lot of preparation and selection before that happened. And it was just kind of like, it was really intense. I cried several times because you got school, right, from morning to like 3 p.m. and then after that I immediately went to like the training place from like 4 until like 8 p.m, 6 p.m if we were lucky. But like it was just like constant, like every day, 5 days a week, no breaks. Like, because we're a team, right? So we have to be like one, we have to be united, we have to like in sync with each other. And I was really glad at like D-Day, it was, we were really good, and we were very proud, and we were like having a party at a blast in our own dorm, like, you know, just celebrating Indonesia's independence. I think that's the best way to do it. And although it was such a lot of struggle, it's still one of the experiences that I'm very proud of. So yeah. And from July until September, this is actually the period of time where I make the video of I read 20 books a year. And that's why I told in the video, like, I was mostly tired all the time, because really I was just making time, trying to make time to actually like read a lot of books in those like free moments. But like, you cannot really do that when you're like in an intense physical training, and that shit drains you out emotionally, right? When you're reading a book, you gotta be focused mentally, and you have to be in that head space, right? But you cannot do that when you're constantly being like dragged down, you know, intense physical training every day at school, homework, assignments. That's just like, I don't even know how I got through it and actually edit it. That's fucking insane, actually, when I look at it. But you know, I think if I set my mind on something, I can just, I don't know, I think I can just do it. So there's not really a lot much happened. Okay, there's actually a lot of it is like super personal. I'm gonna keep this brief for like the rest of the year. On the 2nd of October, my cat died. He was only 6 months old, and we got him at the start of the year. Actually just like mid first half of the year. He was really cute. He was like a house cat, you know. He was birthed from like a senior, like a 9-year-old cat, so obviously his immune system is not going to be that good. So he was very fragile and delicate and very tranquil. He wasn't really the active type, until like it was so weird seeing him just like chill around when he was only 6 months old. And then one day, I think it's because of stress depression, he died of dehydration. It was really out of nowhere, and I was just about to like head on to like course, like a language course, and it was just super sad. It was a really sad moment. He died at 2nd October at 5 p.m. or something, and it's not, my course haven't even started yet. I have to go to the course, and then after that I have to go home and actually bury the cat myself with my mom, my dad, my brother, my pops. And it was such a sobering up moment. It's kind of like, you know how this always happen when your loved one dies. You suddenly have the relationship, like nothing lasts forever. Like, oh my god, you should like really like, yeah. I mean, like, we heard that all the time from people who experience death, but when you actually experience it, you're kind of like, oh shit, yeah, you're not wrong. So yeah, that's kind of what happened, and I made a song about. I took a lot of things for granted, and I felt very guilty about my cat's death. So yeah, that's what happened. I'm still grieving though. It's only been like October, November, December. It hasn't been that long ago. It's so weird how everything changes so much in such a short amount of time. Your mindset, your experience is insane. The next one is, what the hell did I wrote here? The 23rd of November, I joined the student council. We had a whole ceremony about it the whole day. We had a lot of games. It was a lot of fun. The next day I didn't go to school because I was sick. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It's just like the normal high school experience, you know, the one that you don't usually get all the time, and it's very important. And 12th until 13 November, I have my first gig at like a local festival music show. So basically, we were an opening act for like a local singer that was pretty famous in the area. I was a vocalist of like a local band, and because they invited me, and so I only sang like 5 songs, but I got a pretty good amount of money to like, you know, eat for a week, and like my school at least. So that was really nice. It's the first time ever actually, like, you know, I work for something and then I get something out of it, and it was such a rewarding moment. And I'm hoping that I'll able to get more opportunities like that next year. So yeah, because there's also another like gig too. It's like a cultural festival week at like late November, but I didn't do that because actually I December is this has been a lot of trips for me, and if I'm not tripping, no, if I'm not going on a trip or on vacation, I'm either sick and at home, and I'm trying to catch up to my exams because early December, right? I went to a trip to Europe for a week, and then after that I get back and I immediately got sick for like 3 to 5 days. I forgot, and after that it was like it's also like the finals exam, so I have to catch up too, right? So the moment when I started to feel better, because I was like bedridden technically, I wasn't bedridden, but I was mentally I was disturbed, not disturbed mentally. I mean like mentally I cannot focus on like doing assignments, so that I was just kind of like sitting on the couch in front of the TV and just watch Netflix all day. I ended up watching season 4 Stranger Things too. Like I ended up finishing that while I was sick. So that was sick. And now after I finished my all the finals exam, we had like semester's report. First semester of me as a junior, it's fucking insane. I still have like second semester, and it's gonna be shorter, and I hope I'm gonna do better next year. So it's gonna be like a recurring theme, me saying this, and it's gonna be a really long video. Oh yeah, so yeah, after the semester report, I immediately went to the study trip. From Christmas until New Year's Eve. We're going back at like 1st January, back to the capital, and it was just like a lot of traveling, and because early December I was going out to Europe with my family, so you kind of have that codependency to them with everything. But now I'm traveling alone, just with my friends. You know, my parents gave me money. It's a learning experience, I guess, to like be responsible for your stuff, to, you know, learn to organize, to time management, and to take care of your health, because I was actually sick during this journey. This is the very few moments where I was feeling better, because a few days ago I could not talk this much, and I had a really bad cold. I was just like blowing my nose every 5 seconds. But of course I drank a lot of vitamins and medicine and exercise. So yeah, it was actually pretty insane. Most of the time, if there isn't any group activity by the tour guide, I was literally just sleeping or like just watching stuff on my phone, because I learned that in this trip you cannot stay up late. You have to really preserve your energy. I know it's fun hang out with your friends in the other room, but like really I gotta prioritize myself, you know? And so that happened, and now we're here, and that only took about 24 minutes. I'm recording this. I am very sorry. So now that that's done, I've actually made everything I've learned in 2022 kind of list, and there's 7 things that I've learned in 2022, and I made this like a late November. I was feeling really sad. It was midnight, you know, everything is kind of like on the edge of the cliff, you know. Finals is just starting, you know. It's like I'm preparing for the trip. Everything is like it's going to happen, and I was just having a lot of anxiety and fear and worry. So that's why I kind of do this, just kind of in the moment of reflection. So the first thing that I've learned in 2022 is learning to let go. And it sounds so easy, but when you actually experience it, it's really not. Friendships, someone's opinions, things I cannot change and were predestined. And when you're a teen, I feel like you wish like a lot of things were different, and that's when you kind of on this narrow-minded mindset, and where you should be grateful for the things that you already have, and these things that you don't really notice until it's gone, And again, that reference about death and shit. But I also added something here that it's fine to fall back if you get back up again. And yeah, it's really fine. I think we've been taught to really like toughen up with this day and age modern society. This says a lot about society. Like you're not really given the time to break down, to burn out. Listen, I was in a really, really heavy burnout mental state, like the second half of the year, and I don't know why. I was just crying. I was just so tired of everything, because out of all the things that I mentioned there is a lot that's happening too that's like pretty mundane, but it's really, really affected me mentally, social stuff, environmental stuff, school. And that's when I got into this really burnout stage. And you know what I did? I didn't force myself. I just let it happen until fortunately one of my teachers understand what I'm going through. And it sucks because not a lot actually understand, like, oh, you're tired, just sleep. No, it doesn't work like that. This is mental shit. I can sleep, I can hibernate all I want, but it's still not gonna make the feeling go away. So yeah, and then I got out of that at the moment December hits. Maybe it's because I'm on a trip, but it was really nice, because I was afraid I'm not gonna get out of that mental state, but I'm glad I did. And the second thing that I've learned in 2022 is removing things that are irrelevant to your life unapologetically. People pleaser are miserable. I wrote this, and I also wrote love yourself the most. Yeah, I think I'm 16 right now. When you were only starting on puberty, when you're 13, you really care about people's perception of you, and it was bad. You just hit puberty, you're very self-conscious of your body and its changes. So I'm gonna give it a pass if someone were to act toxic or naive, when they're like 12, 13, 14, because that's their transition age. I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, cool, but it gets really annoying if they don't get out of that. I fortunately got out of that, and I was like, oh shit, I don't really care anymore. When you're 13, you care a lot. When you're 16, you still care, but not as much as you did. And that's what I've been learning a lot, to care less, unapologetically. The third one is let the universe make the decision that's out of your control. Because life is fucking unpredictable. School, life, relationships, hope, disappointment, death. I was really sad on writing this. I just realized that. But yeah, it's just, I think we can leave it at that, and you can interpret that yourself. Because it's true. The fourth one, it's kind of connected to the third one, is be open to surprises. Eventful, pithole of hell, mutant. Don't be too comfortable when you feel like everything's okay, because you'll never know what will happen. Life's like a wheel spinning up and down. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I haven't had any good moments this year, but I did have a lot of good moments this year, but it's kind of like overshadowed when you're in like always in such a pessimistic mindset, because I think a lot of people suffer with teen depression. I've suffered with teen depression since I was like 13. Suicidal thoughts is always kind of it's always things that I'm struggling with, and so it's always like when I'm like in a good state, like everything's going fine, I have this fear gnawing at my back that something's gonna go bad again, and I have to prepare, and I'm always on this survival mode, and I have to really kind of like adjust to that and to unlearn that and just kind of like chill out a bit. Um, the fifth one is don't feel guilty for things that's out of your control. A lot of this, third, the fourth, the fifth, it's all about control, and it's kind of like showing my mental state, and I'm really being vulnerable here. Let's see what I learned. Your past. Don't be stuck in the past. Live in the present and don't obsess over the future. As someone who's obsessing over control, I really obsess over the future. I like to plan a lot. I'm a very organized person, very rational and very logical. If it weren't for my really emotionally intuitive friends, I would be a cold fucking ruthless bitch. But now I'm just like a cold fucking bitch. So I guess at least I'm not ruthless. The thing is, growing up, right, I've always been apologetic with what my opinions are. I've always been like brutally honest. But now I'm just like, kind of like honest. I know the time and place where to do it and when to not do it. I learned some manners. Like really, my friends really shaped me a lot as who I am today, and that's why I'm very selective. But when it comes to the friends that I really love, I'm very loyal to them, and I literally, I guess it's kind of a stretch, but I would consider dying for them. I'm just saying. So, anyways, the sixth one is not every relationship lasts forever, and I'm saying this because I look at a lot of friends that I made in my life, right? I moved a lot, even inside the country, and this is the first time I've moved outside the country, and I'm predicting that I'm going to be moving a lot more from this time on. But I feel like when you look at someone and it's like, oh, this is just a passing by moment, If it weren't for this, we're not gonna meet each other again, So it's gonna like, you're just gonna like enjoy the moment right now. Like, okay, I really like this person. They're really fun to hang out with. I know it's not gonna last forever, so let's make this moment last, and then we're gonna go our separate ways, our direction. Is it just me that's just thinking that way? Because it's like the same thing with high school, right? It's just a pure fucking coincidence that you're all just like jumbled up in this like prison cell, like 6 hours for like 5 days a week, and you kind of like bond over it and your struggles, even though you're not necessarily similar, although you are stuck in a similar situation. And that's kind of like, it's kind of like the beauty of it, doesn't it? Being stuck suffering about something together. Teach lessons. Oh yeah, I also write something in the sixth lesson with my points. Getting on with life doesn't mean you're living life. That speaks volumes. Nothing makes sense. Worst thing is you're alive, but you're not living. Oversharing with private. Being vulnerable and open can become a powerful thing, but it can also become weak. I think it's fine to overshare things. I'm the type of person to overshare a lot of things, but I also keep my private life very private. So yeah. And the last thing that I've learned, this is the most private I'm gonna get to, but the seventh thing that I've learned is, so I had this really old friend from Indonesia, and we grew up, we basically met in real life, right? This is related to the seventh point, right? And so we were not really close when we were in real life, because school and stuff and everything. But when the pandemic hit, I started getting really close to this person. And this to say, the seventh point is, don't fall in love with someone that's emotionally available for you. And that's, yeah, so I didn't think it would be possible for me to fall in love, let alone falling in love in text, in like phone calls and video calls. That's insane, right? Because I thought I was going to be single forever, because no person would ever like catch my eye. But then this person that I've been friends for a really long time suddenly comes up to me and was like, kind of like this, like, the thing is, I was really foreign with this feeling, because it started with infatuation, right? And you cannot stop thinking about them. And then it turned into this kind of like fantasy where you're imagining things with them, and then desire with them. And I was heartbroken because I asked them about what is their status, what's their thoughts about relationship, and they said that, you know, there was already, I mean, they're a fucking gamer, of course, like what are they gonna do, think about like getting a partner, life partner or something. But yeah, they're basically emotionally unavailable. You'll end up hurting yourself. That's I cannot say that I fall out of love with them, because I still get in contact with them. We still play games together very often, but it's just kind of like I'm in the state where I'm just like waiting, but also kind of like accepting like what their feelings are. The thing is, I never actually confess directly to them. Like I say, hey, I like you, you know what I mean? Like, no, it's just like I was kind of hinting at it, but I never do that, because when you're confessing to someone, right? This is actually an extra insight. You have to think about the person's perspective, the other side of the door. If they're not gonna take it well, then they feel awkward because they're friends with you, but like you and you feel so much for him or her or them, but they didn't feel the same way for you, so it's kind of like awkward, and they kind of want to like distance themselves from you because like of that barrier of like different feelings, because it's not mutual, it's just complicated in general. So although it hurts for anyone out there who really likes someone and wants to confess with them, please think it over, because it can really fuck your relationship up. So yeah, so I'm glad that I didn't fuck up, but I'm obviously just like going through this 5 stages of grief by myself. So yeah, and it was still recent, by the way. So that's it. This year I've been tracking, journaling, I've made a lot of songs, I've tracked a lot of like my thoughts, started journaling a lot. I wrote a lot in my diary than I have in the past 3 years, and I've actually had 2 phases of burnout this year, the first half of the year and the second half of the year. And I quit like one of my music courses. I quit like a language course program like the late of the year because I was too busy. I think it's fine for you to take a step back. Sorry. Because you know you're gonna, when you're mentally like feeling better, you know you're gonna take that step forward and just like be more prepared, and you're more like fresh, your mind is more fresh, and you're more oriented, you're more focused. And I think that's what I really learned this year about making goals. It's just minimum, it's focused and it's oriented, and it's not too many goals, because it can really jumble you up. And yeah, this is what I wrote in the road just now. No, just now. No, it's like 12 p.m. like 6 hours ago. Anyways, 2022 was such a pivotal year for me, and I feel like let me get my water first. Sorry. 2022 was such a pivotal year for me, and I feel like it's only the start of trials and tribulations after tribulations, because I have a feeling like things are going to get a lot harder from now on. It never gets easier. You think you've got it, and the universe is like, nope, fuck you. And you're like, ah shit, fuck bro, it's 7 a.m. But life's not really fun and exciting if you don't got the lows. It's not. You can get bored really easily, and it's also really rewarding for you to conquer obstacles, and it's just a wonderful feeling when you overcome challenges. So I think I kind of get the point now, where I've been shit a lot in the second half of the year. But yeah, and to close the end of this video, I hope you guys have a good time watching this, wherever you are, whenever you are watching this. I hope you had a lot of growth, you had a lot of good times, bad times, like, and I hope moving forward things will get better, you know, you'll get better, you're in a better place, you know. Just know that a lot of people, probably even like the people that you hate the most in like your class, probably going through a lot of the transition too, but probably not as self-aware as I'm making it out to be, because I'm making a video right now and you guys are watching this and you're probably going to self-reflect a lot too what happened in this year. I just hope that you guys can, you know, learn a lot from this video. And I'm gonna close this off by I'm mentioning you a few of my New Year's resolution, and it's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be too broad and too narrow too. I'm leaving a lot of space for improvement, but also like general stuff. Sorry. Okay, so the first one is for me to be fluent in Korean. Why did I choose Korea? You'll know in the next video that I'm about to make. And the second one is learn 5 K-pop dance routines, all boy groups. So that's going to be really interesting. And the third one and the last one that I want to do is I want to make a video of me doing a vocal warm-up every day routine for like a month and see how that changed my voice, because at the end of the day, yes, I'm content creating, but I am a singer. So that's why I really take care of my voice, and I don't feel really good right now. Yeah. Yeah, so it's been 42 minutes of me recording this. Holy shit, man. Oh, something just moved. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had a fun Christmas. For anyone who's celebrating it in this video, you have a really good New Year. Everything's going well with you, and will be going well with you in the front. You know, just so you know, you're not alone. Feel free to share me how was your 2022. Let's make this like a yearly tradition. You know, I'm gonna be doing this every year too, because it's just nice for me and my mental health and my journey. So yeah.